After spending the first 4 years of his career with the Dallas Cowboys, Micah Parsons makes his return to AT&T Stadium in his fourth game as a Green Bay Packer. Parsons is locked in. The Green Bay defense, one of the best in the NFL, taking on the Dallas Cowboys in Week 4 of the 2025 NFL season. As we welcome you into special edition from the Globe Life Studios at the Star in Frisco, alongside three former Cowboys, Isaiah Stanback, Barry Church, and Nate Newton. I'm Kyle Youmans. So glad that you've joined us, and it is a big week, an emotional week for some in this Cowboys organization, of course, for Micah Parsons as well. Going into this matchup, he makes his return this week, Barry Church, and it's a return unlike any other.
Yes, it is. And if I'm a Cowboys fan or if I play on this team, I'm praying. I'm praying that Micah Parsons either misses the flight, misses curfew the night before, something to where he doesn't get on that football field. Because if this man steps on the football field, it's going to be ugly for the Dallas Cowboys. I mean, you're down your stud rookie guard, your center's out of there, your two tackles have been inconsistent at best, and you're going against one of the, or maybe the best pass rusher in the National Football League. Man, this could get ugly for this Cowboys offense.
No, it's not that bad, Barry. Oh, okay, it's that bad. All right, listen, you understand this is an emotional competitor that's coming back to the crib, and he understands that he felt like he was disrespected the way in which he departed. So he's going to have, this is going to be personal for him, and you can best believe you're going to get his best game. But you know what? Somebody who's overly aggressive, you can use that emotion and that aggressiveness against them.
It's like kind of like the Terminator 2. And, you know, he's coming with a mission. He's got one goal, and that's to get after our quarterback. We're going to have to run the ball, and we're going to have to be very effective. We're going to have to be very disciplined in what we do in trying to handle Michael Parsons.
And with a couple injuries on the offensive line, like Cooper Beebe and now Tyler Booker missing some time, it's going to have to be sifted through up front to try and avoid that Green Bay pass rush. The Cowboys trying to find a pass rush of their own at the same time. Caleb Williams in the Week 3 loss against the Chicago Bears was not sacked for the first time in his career. Barry, when you look at this pass rush, where does it come from going into Week 4?
These guys have got to start winning their one-on-ones. I mean, that's what I've noticed so far this season, that they're not winning the one-on-one opportunities they have. Whether it's Osa, whether it's Dante Fowler on the outside, Sam Williams, they're not winning the one-on-one. So if you're Eberflus, you're thinking, okay, I got to manufacture some pressure from somewhere, whether that's bringing it from the second level, bringing it from the secondary. The only problem with that is when you're blitzing, you're usually having man-to-man coverage behind that. And what we've seen so far this season, that secondary cannot handle one-on-one opportunities against opposing offenses. So for me, if these guys don't start winning their one-on-one opportunities, it's going to be extremely tough for this defense to generate pass rush.
I concur everything that he just said. I also would suggest that the defensive line goes out and plays a little old school game called Dance Dance Revolution. And the reason why is because it's going to work on your footwork and your dance moves. They are not doing anything elusive at the line of scrimmage. They have to find a way to get on one side of the offensive lineman instead of trying to run down the middle.
And there's a lot of different elements of this Packers team that's some of the best at their position in the NFL. And when we come back on Special Edition, we're going to talk about that. Later in the show, we're going to see a little bit of film room as well. Isaiah Stanback is going to talk about Javonte Williams' hot start in this run game as a whole for the Cowboys. But like I said, when we come back, we are previewing Jordan Love and this Green Bay Packers team. They're looking for Super Bowl aspirations here in 2025.
Special Edition, presented by AT&T, is brought to you by your North Texas Ford dealers. Ford is the best in Texas. Reliant, official energy provider of the Dallas Cowboys. Blockchain.com. Invest like your icons with Blockchain.com. And by AT&T. Connecting changes everything. This segment is brought to you by your North Texas Ford dealers. Ford is the best in Texas.
Green Bay Packers coming off a Week 3 loss as well. Theirs was at the hands of the Cleveland Browns, 13-10 the final score, and they're looking to rebound against the Dallas Cowboys in Week 4 back here on Special Edition. Nate, when you looked at what Cleveland did well in that Week 3 win, how does Dallas replicate that, and what did they do to slow down the Packers?
What they did was they kept him in an umbrella. They did not let him get out. You know, when it's 2nd and 4 or 3rd and 5. He's a lot of times can scramble out, get out and throw and scramble and get his receivers outside the pocket. Well, they didn't let him do this. They put pressure on him. They covered up that first receiver, made him go to his second receiver, and by that time, Cleveland had 5 sacks at the end of that game. Can we duplicate that pressure? I don't know.
Cleveland's D-line was better than Green Bay's offensive line.
Yeah.
That's just facts. That's one of the best D-lines, if not the best D-line collectively in football, and those guys showed it. They got after it. You just heard Nate said they had 5 sacks. They put Jordan Love down 5 times to the ground. That's not how many times they pressured him. That's how many times they got him to the ground. They actually had a 40% pressure rate against Jordan Love. So when it comes to matchups, you have to win those one-on-one opportunities. You're going to be put in those situations. Sometimes it's going to be your 4 versus their 5. Sometimes it's going to be 5-on-5 if you're breathing pressure. But either way, you have to win.
Yeah, Cleveland, they simply won the trenches on both sides of the football. Like these two gentlemen just mentioned, they got after Jordan Love. But not only that, they shut down Jacobs in this rushing attack. Green Bay rushed the ball 31 times for just 81 yards. That's a whopping 2.6 yards per carry. You can win that way. Can we replicate that here in Dallas? I'm not so sure, but we're going to have to if we want to win this ball game.
And, of course, Dallas does have an advantage knowing Micah Parsons, his strengths, his weaknesses, and also how teams have elected to play against him in the past. Nate, we've seen teams go away from him. We've seen teams go right at him. What do you want Dallas to do on Sunday?
They're going to have to go at him. They're going to have to make him play physical. They're going to have to wear him down. This is where Williams and our tight ends, I want to come out 12 personnel, get after this guy and stay with the chains or ahead of the chains. If you get behind, Parsons going to eat and the whole group.
Yeah, not only that, I think you got to make this guy think a little bit. You got to use his aggressiveness. I think he's going to come out there and want to make a point to Dallas and get after Dak Prescott. Use the screens behind him. Use that aggressiveness. Force him to come upfield and then dump the ball off right behind him. I know it's a lot easier said than done, but you got to wear this guy out. You just can't let him go out there and tee off on your quarterback.
Yeah, I agree with what these guys are saying. I don't think he's going to line up too often and just go straight at your tackles. I think that if you do so, if he does try to attempt that, your tight ends will have a part in it. I think what you're seeing on the screen right now, where he's trying to jump across the front and trying to come across on some of these stunts, is what you're probably going to get out of him. So you have to communicate well. And when he decides to come all the way to the middle, make sure you put him and you dump truck him to the ground.
It's interesting because it was always a conversation. You said there's a difference between pressures and sacks. Yep. Micah Parsons has 1.5 sacks so far on the season, but he's also still top 5 in pressure. So he's getting in the backfield, but if there's one quarterback that can go against that, who is it?
Dakota.
It's Dak Prescott as well. When we come back, we're going to the film room. The Cowboys' run game has been firing on all cylinders this season. What has gone right for the Cowboys up front?
This segment was brought to you by your North Texas Ford dealers. Ford is the best in Texas. This segment is brought to you by the NFL Fan of the Year, presented by Captain Morgan.
It has been a resurgent year for Javonte Williams in this Cowboys offense after just 3.7 yards per carry and 4 touchdowns all of last year with the Denver Broncos. He has 5.3 yards per carry and 3 touchdowns already in 3 games with the Dallas Cowboys. Back alongside Isaiah Stanback, I'm Kyle Youmans. Let's break down what has been going right for this Cowboys run game, because it's not just Javonte Williams, it's not just Miles Sanders, it's really the whole group as a whole going in the right direction.
Listen, it takes a complete unit in order to have an effective running game, and the Dallas Cowboys are taking care of business. But it starts with the big fellas up front, so let's make sure we give them some love. First thing I want to pay some attention to is these 2 jokers right here, okay? We got our 2 fellas right here. We got Booker, and we also have T. Steele. These guys are going to do what we call a combo block. They're both going to take on this one defensive lineman, and then they are working up to the next level to kick either seal or kick out, okay? You guys are going to see these guys do some good work. This is how you get guys moved off the line. Boom! You guys see it right there, shoulder to shoulder. You can't even see this guy anymore. And now you're going to have our boy T. Smith coming up, and he's going to work up to the next most dangerous man. All right, let's see this play out. Boom, combo, boom. You see T. Smith right there, get the seal block again. Okay, so we got the combo, these 2 working up. Okay, we're going to get a seal block here by Steele. You got Smith that just did a good job. Tolbert's in here working, kick this man out, and now we can get up to the next level with our guy, Young, Williams. Boom, he gets up in there, break a tackle, break another tackle, get me to the house. Those guys are doing a really good job up front.
And you talk about Javonte Williams, yards after contact there. Only James Cook, Kyron Williams, and then, of course, Jonathan Taylor have more yards after contact than Javonte Williams through the first 3 weeks of the year. But he's not the only one having success toting the rock as well. Miles Sanders in that Week 1 matchup with Philadelphia did as well.
You thought it was only J-Dub?
It was not just J-Dub, I promise.
Anybody can get it in, especially when you have your guys on the outside also working. You guys are going to see, I want to highlight somebody right here, okay? Boom, we got right here, and then boom, we have right here, okay? Now also, why not highlight? Let's go ahead and highlight Ferg as well, okay? What is going to take place? We have the crack block, okay? These guys are going to seal the edge right here. You guys see everybody's eyes. These guys are coming in. They're trying to get this edge. What else are we going to do? We're going to work up, bring our guys around, and we're going to go kick out anybody who wants to show themselves on the edge right here. Okay, boom, 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 play it through. You see everybody's eyes in, boom, what did we just talk about? Okay, so get the edge. If we don't get the edge, we don't have a chance. Now you got T. Smith coming out, and that dude is scary like cherry. Okay, and now you got our guy working up to the next level. If you get the edge, you have a chance, and now you can get out and make big plays. Just like that. Now, obviously, we know that the end result of this one didn't go the way we wanted to, but you don't get an opportunity to get big plays unless your guys get the edge on those seal blocks.
And give credit to Miles Sanders. The patience to let those blocks develop up front was a big thing, too. But how do you continue this going into a week matchup with a big-time opponent like the Green Bay Packers in Week 4?
Well, you just keep doing what we're talking about, Kyle. Everybody take care of the business up front, and it starts with also your receivers. Let's go ahead and get our guy. Where are we at right here? Okay, let's get our guy right here, George Pickens. If you don't have your receivers getting involved in the running game, you don't stand a chance for big plays. George Pickens, right there with the seal block on the linebacker, and now you have all your guys on the edge. Look at all these opportunities, and now your running back can get out here and have a nice little party. Let's go ahead and play that through. We know how this resulted as well, but again, that's everybody getting involved. Your interior offensive linemen, your tackles and your tight ends, and also your receivers. If everybody takes care of their business, you allow for big plays like that. We need to keep the ground game going.
And George Pickens, of course, traded for this offseason. He was heralded as a physical wide receiver when catching the football. It's not just when he's catching the football as well. He's going to have to block for this run game against the Packers this week. It's another big-time moment, a memorable moment in this Cowboys-Packers rivalry. What are some of the games early in the all-time series that we want to look back on when we come back on Special Edition?
This segment was brought to you by the NFL Fan of the Year, presented by Captain Morgan. This segment is brought to you by Salvation Army, doing the most good.
The Packers are 6-0 all-time at AT&T Stadium, including their Super Bowl win, a couple playoff appearances against the Cowboys. But there have been some good things between the Cowboys and the Packers in their all-time series. Welcome back in the Special Edition. Isaiah Stanback, Barry Church, Nate Newton. I'm Kyle Youmans. Isaiah, I'm going to let you start. Most memorable moment watching this Packers-Cowboys rivalry.
I'm going to start out with a negative. I'm sorry. It was 2023. Playoffs, Dallas Cowboys were playing at AT&T Stadium, and the Green Bay Packers with their doggone yellow helmets came in, and they absolutely mollywopped the Dallas Cowboys. That is the memory that is most recent in my mind, and it still hurts to this day.
I'm going to go a little positive on this one. For me, it's finally going up to Green Bay and getting a victory. 2016, Dak's rookie year, Zeke's rookie year. You know, everybody counting us out. We went out there, got the dub. Your boy had an interception and a forced fumble. So it was lit. It was lit. It was a great experience.
An interception and a forced fumble for one Barry Church. Nate, what about you?
1995, man, we was on the plane, and Green Bay was playing the 49ers, and we definitely didn't want that smoke the 49ers was bringing. Green Bay upset them, and all we said, Super Bowl, here we come, baby. 1995 playoff game, NFC Championship game.
Ooh, that's the last NFC Championship game the Cowboys had been a part of. Sorry, I'm negative. I had to bring it up.
Negative.
I had to bring it up. But there's a positive on this, though. There's a positive. Okay. Did we see that graphic pop up? You see Nate Newton's big head up there on the starting lineup graphic? That was my favorite part of that whole sequence. Look at him there at that starting left
side. Man, I had a head, man. I look like Javon Williams. Huh?
Yeah, Javonte Williams, right?
Okay, what's the superpower?
What kind of juggernaut?
We're wrapping up Special Edition. When we come back here at the Globe Live Studios at the Star of Frisco, we leave you with the image of Nate Newton. Cowboys in the Community is next.
This segment was brought to you by Salvation Army, doing the most good. Closed captioning is brought to you by the Texas Lottery. Dallas Cowboys scratch tickets from the Texas Lottery are here. Play today. And to watch more Dallas Cowboys content on your connected TV, download the Cowboys Now app on Amazon Fire, Roku, and Apple TV. Special edition presented by AT&T was brought to you by your North Texas Ford dealers. Ford is the best in Texas. Miller Lite, the only beer of the Dallas Cowboys. And by AT&T, connecting changes everything.
This week, the Dallas Cowboys Rookie Club hosted 100 third grade students at the Ford Center for an innovative math-themed football clinic. The students rotated through various NFL flag skills while practicing foundational math concepts.
Welcome. We're so glad to have you
Well,
here.
it's so kind of you. The Cowboys are very good to the whole flock.
Oh, well, thank you for that.
This week, the Dallas Cowboys also welcomed cancer patients and their caregivers who are guests at the American Cancer Society Gene and Jerry Jones Family Hope Lodge.
The Hope Lodge, for me, is like a home away from home. The Lodge, the Cowboys, and the American Cancer Society put this event together. Obviously, it helps us take our minds off of, the challenges we face from day to day.
The special guests were treated to a tour of the Cowboys' world headquarters at the Star and also welcomed by Charlotte Jones and various players.
To be able to have these temporary residents at Hope Lodge down in Dallas who have all been diagnosed with some form of cancer. They've come from across the globe to receive treatment. If we can be just a little positive part of their journey by providing housing for them while they're going through their treatment, then it's the least we can do.
Being able to kind of be here and tour the facility with them and kind of show them a day in our life, that means everything to us.
The Gene and Jerry Jones family have been very good to all of us.
We know that your family is really important, and so if we can allow them to have their family here while they're going through the tough part of their journey, then I think we're doing something really good.
For the Dallas Cowboys, I'm Pamela Jagger-Purcell.
Awesome stuff in the community this week from the Dallas Cowboys in multiple aspects of the DFW Metroplex. Welcome back in to Special Edition at the Globe Live Studios. We have Isaiah Stanback, Barry Church, Nate Newton. I'm Kyle Youmans, and we've got one more opportunity here to talk about the surprises of the NFL season. Nate, I'll start with you. What's been the biggest surprise to you so far?
It's been the special teams, the blocked field goals, the punts, the way that the kickoffs are now, how guys are averaging getting to that 35, whether the kicker hit the sweet spot or not. Guys are being able to get out to that 35 and where offenses are. This is a new special teams year here. This is going to be a special year for special teams.
All those blocked kicks. I mean, Green Bay going up against it lost a game because of a blocked field goal. Philadelphia within the division also doing the same. Pretty crazy stuff so far.
Yeah, special teams has been crazy. But for me, one man's trash is another man's treasure. And I'm talking about Danny Dollars out here. I mean, this is a guy that went from the New York Giants where basically everybody said his career was done. It's a wrap. It's over with. He ends up going to Minnesota for a year, kind of learning under Kevin O'Connell for a hot second. Then he says, you know what, I'm going to Indianapolis, and I got a chance to compete for a starting job. And this man has looked flawless these first couple victories in the National Football League for him this season with the Colts. I mean, he's throwing the ball on point. Now, it helps when you have, a great running back in Jonathan Taylor out there. But overall, this man has resurrected his career, and he looks amazing.
You might call him Danny Dimes, but his new name is Indiana Jones. That's right. I'm rocking with the same answer because this dude is literally one out there in Indianapolis with an organization that had very low expectations coming into this year, and now they are at the top of the AFC. Not only are they at the top of the AFC, they have scored the most points in the AFC for any offense, which is absolutely insanity when you think about who he was and what he was doing before he got to Indiana. It's amazing what he's doing. Shout out to Indiana Jones.
And possibly one of the coolest nicknames you could possibly figure out. Indiana Jones for the guy. It's incredible. I thought one of the craziest stats about the Colts this year, two of them for that matter. One, they didn't punt until the third drive of their Week 3 game all season. There was no punting. And you might say, oh, well, there were probably a couple turnovers in there or something like that. No.
Yeah.
They're one of 3 teams in the NFL that have not committed a turnover on offense this season. Quite incredible stuff on the AFC side from the Indianapolis Colts and Indiana Jones. That's going to do it for us here on Special Edition. The Cowboys and the Packers taking on each other. Sunday Night Football on NBC this week, 7:20 kickoff. We'll be live from the field at AT&T Stadium on Cowboys pregame live at 6. We'll see you there.